Welcome to episode 6 of the Chirp Kings podcast, and it is a special one today. We are filming on Monday, which we normally don't do. It's normally Tuesday. Monday is special this week because it is Victory Monday. As an Atlanta Falcons fan, we're going to clap it up for the Atlanta Falcons.
We can clap it up for all our teams.
All of our teams. LSU, clap it up.
Georgia,
clap it up. Hey, the Braves this weekend, clap it up.
They're probably going to lose, but we can support them anyways.
Clap them up. There we go. It was such a great week for us as sports fans. Saturday, we sat down and watched the games at my crib, and we were sweating. I mean, me more than you, but we were both, sweating. I was drenched when the game was over. I looked like I had gotten in a pool. That's how much I was sweating that game.
I had a few beads coming down, but...
I mean, you took Georgia, plus 3.5 on that? Did you rock that with me? Maybe you didn't. I feel like I rocked my squad, you rocked your squad.
You're right, I did.
Yeah, because I took plus 3.5. We didn't cover, but I do not care. A win in Rocky Top.
No, you did cover.
I did not cover. I took Georgia plus 3.5, or minus 3.5, I'm sorry.
Oh,
They were 3.5 point favorites. Okay. My bad. But I didn't cover, but I don't care. I do not care. A win in Rocky Top is a great win always. The boys, tough, gritty, physical win, like Gunnar Stockton, SEC Offensive Player of the Week. It was a quarterback duel, which I don't think anybody expected coming into that game.
I didn't, and I just didn't expect that game to be so good. That was one of the best college football games I've seen in a while. And
I mean, for it to be that early in the season, It was just an absolute banger, just matching blow for blow. Just every time somebody scored, somebody comes down and matches. Friend of mine, Joey Aguilar, balled out, dog. We balled out.
We discussed it a little bit last week. We weren't sure what he was going to look like. He hasn't faced anything like this, even though it was a home game. He hasn't had a crowd like that yet.
5 TDs.
5 TDs.
5 TDs, dog. That's not being talked about enough because they lost.
And maybe the biggest thing was how they went down and punched Georgia in the mouth in the first quarter, dropping 3 touchdowns in there.
With 2 bombs, dude. Chris Brazzell was just embarrassing the secondary. That's a good squad. Tennessee is still a good football team.
And they were without their number 1, maybe number 2 DB.
They were without both.
Jermod
McCoy was out, and then their second DB, I don't remember his name, but he was also out. So I got to give them some props. And Kirby said it, and I agree. We did not deserve to win that football game. Tennessee outplayed us in that game, but we just got some guys on that team that don't quit, bro. We're not a team, and we saw this last year when we played Alabama. We are not a squad that's ever going to pack it in and go home early.
That's just been the mentality of the team since Kirby got there.
We're a bunch of lunch pail guys, bro. Put the hard hat on and go to work. Sun up to sundown. We're showing up, and we're not going to pack it in. It doesn't matter if we're down 3 or we're down 33 at halftime. You're going to get a better, maybe not a better product in the second half, but you're going to get a team that stays just as locked in and is still believing that they can win the football game. They do not give up, and getting battle tested early like that in the season and coming out with the win, both an SEC play and a rivalry win, and you're in Neyland, which is just all of those things combined make us a great football team moving forward, and I'm excited for that Alabama game at home, which is something I haven't said about a Bama game in a long time.
Georgia really checked all the boxes.
Defense, that secondary got a little beat on. I won't lie. The secondary needs to step up a little bit. But everywhere else, O-line played okay. I don't want to sit here and critique the team all day, though. BK said it good this week. A win is a win, bro. How much can we... Yes, the O-line needs to improve, but we ran the rock better. Gunnar looked fantastic. That throw on 4th and 6.
That was... My first thought when we were watching it was, why the hell is this the throw you're making on 4th and 6? You have to have a higher percentage throw or play. And then he threw it, and I was like, oh, my God, that doesn't look good. And then just right in the wickets right there.
Bread basket right there, dude.
Humphreys made one hell of a catch, got his leg down in the end zone.
And then you get the 2-point with Zach Branch right there. And it was a great game. It was a phenomenal game, and I think that could be an SEC championship preview.
It could be.
You still got LSU.
There's still, as of right now, there's still 4 or 5 teams really in the mix for the SEC title.
Yeah, but I think those 3 right now are my top. I'd probably put Bama at 4, And then at 5, really, I don't know yet. I'm not putting Texas at 5 right now. They just, I mean, the offense just does not, it's not clicking. They cannot score points. And if Tennessee's offense is looking like that, if Georgia's offense is looking like that, if y'all's offense can get going with the talent you have, if Bama's offense starts to look like it did against Wisconsin, like Texas's defense is not going to be able to keep them in those games with the way their offense is scoring right now. So, like, could be an SEC preview, SEC championship preview. Going to another SEC squad, your LSU Tigers did not look great on the O, but the defense, dude, through 3 games now is by far the best defense you guys have put on a field since 2019 through 3 games.
We're going to have our good look segment in a little bit. This is just a little bit of foreshadowing here, but I want to start with the defense. Oh, my God, man.
I'm just all over the field.
I don't think our defense was this good when we won the championship in 2019.
I'd pump the brakes on that a little bit. I mean, you had a few first and second round guys on that defense, so I would wait.
In terms of the production, we had a game that one year where we let Bama score 41. We gave up. I mean,
I just think I get what you're going.
Because even in the championship, we only gave up 25 to that Clemson team.
And you start to kind of let off the gas as a defense when your offense is putting up 60 in the SEC championship game. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's a tough comparison, but I see where you're going. Like, it's a stout unit right now.
This squad is right up there with them. Blake Baker's second year, he's really just playing with his food at this point. He's mixing up pressures. He's running DB blitzes. He has those linebackers ready to go. Every part of that defense, 1, is on point on its own. 2, they're all working so well together. The chemistry.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it even like down to a third string when you had the youngest of the Weeks brothers, I guess. The whole family hails from the state of Louisiana. I mean, it's all go Tigers in that house. Like, I'd love to see a Thanksgiving at the Weeks house, but you get the third Weeks brother in there, and even then, like, that linebacker duo is still feasting. You pick Lagway off an embarrassing 5 times. And yeah, it was a good look for your LSU Tigers this week on defense.
Now, the offense, we just had some news come out today around kind of the LSU media that Nuss has been dealing with a torso injury. Don't know where that came from, but apparently it's having him be limited in practices. So maybe that's part of the reason why they look so bad. You know,
could be timing issue.
Obviously, it's still most of the fault is on the offensive coordinator, in my opinion. We gotta, even though we only scored 17 in the Clemson game, the offense was kind of flashy. All these misdirections, these crosses up the middle, confusing the defense. I didn't see that against Louisiana Tech. I didn't really see that against Florida. We really just have to get ahead of the sticks.
Yeah.
Too many 2nd and 8s, too many 3rd and 7s.
Yeah, I mean, I had that problem last night watching the Falcons game, which I'll get into in a little bit. But, I mean, you guys are in a good spot, though, moving forward.
I really have nothing to complain about. The only thing to complain about is the offense, but
it's still early.
You can't complain when we've given up 2 touchdowns in 3 games and we haven't allowed more than 10 points.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter how you win as long as you're winning. And, the old adage goes, defense wins championships.
Looking at some games down the road, I'm not scared of Ole Miss. I'm not scared of Ole Miss's offense with our defense. I'm not scared of South Carolina's. I'm not really scared of Bama's right now.
I wouldn't be scared of Bama's defense right now either. I think the offense is still the better unit of its kicking right now for them.
I'm not scared of any of these offenses.
Oh, the offenses. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
right now, I guess really the only one I have circled is maybe Oklahoma at the end of the year.
Yeah, and I'm still waiting to see them face like a big test. I think Auburn this upcoming weekend is going to be their first real. I mean, I know they played Michigan, but that Michigan squad is overhyped, in my opinion.
They're probably going to go like 8-4. So
they're not a ranked team. Like, the fact that they're still 21 to me is kind of like, they're 21 and they're playing at Nebraska this weekend, who is undefeated, who is unranked. Like, I find that to be a little funny. I don't think Michigan, I think they're a 7-5 squad this year. 8-4, in my opinion, is probably their ceiling. So I'll be interested to see how Oklahoma's offense looks against an SEC opponent. But yeah, I mean, that would probably be the biggest one. We got our 2 games out of the way, which I'm sorry, guys, if you're not big fans of either one of these schools, but like, we got to start with those always. Like, those are our guys. I got some matchups written down over here. Real quick, Miami covers. I took Miami to cover plus 18.5.
This game was...
Minus, damn, why do I keep doing that? Minus 18.5 against USF. And I think all I wanted to touch on with this game is it kind of cements the fact that, like, in my opinion, Miami is here in the ACC and everybody else is like a tier below because they're going out and they're handling their business. They're not playing around. They're not walking on the field thinking they're better and then putting a shit product out on the field. Like, they're walking in, they're handling business, they're walking out. Like, they're not playing around this year.
You talked about the ACC. You could even make kind of the same comparison to put them at that same spot in the country. Miami's been up here handling business. Ohio State hasn't had to do that yet, except for Texas. But now we see what Texas's offense looks like. Penn State isn't doing that. They're playing Villanova.
Oregon hasn't played anybody that isn't an FCS opponent yet. I don't think. Have they played a school that isn't a high school yet?
They played Oklahoma State, but that's an Oklahoma State team that might win 3 games this year.
Well, I mean, they get worse every year because Mike Gundy's out here saying we've all drank and drive a few times. Like, it's not that bad. Cut your hair into a mullet, crack a few beers, go driving. Like, that's not a good program.
Right. But Miami's out here looking really dominant, and they have it's them on the open road to the ACC championship right now.
Yeah, I mean, FSU looked good against Alabama, but that was probably the worst version of Alabama we'll see all year. Mm-hmm. So I need to see what they look like against some more ACC competition, and then a team just pretty much choked away their chances in Clemson. I mean, I really don't even know what to say about that program anymore.
Right now, it's just a bad product of football.
They have the talent. They've got day one picks all over the field. Kate Klubnik, maybe not right now. I mean, he's still got all the attributes and stuff, and there's not going to be a great deal of quarterbacks worth a damn in this upcoming draft, but like, Klubnik was supposed to be one. Antonio Williams was supposed to be a guy that could be late day 1, day 2 pick.
He hasn't played since the first quarter of week 1.
He hasn't played. TJ Parker, we haven't heard his name a lot. Peter Woods, we haven't heard his name a lot. I haven't heard Sammy Brown's name a lot. Like, there's a lot of guys where you're just like, well, you have all the talent in the world. And I kept telling you on Saturday when we were watching the game, I go, if Clemson just keeps it close, like as bad as they were playing in that first half and they keep getting, holding Georgia Tech to field goals, it was 13-10 at half?
Mm-hmm.
I go, dang, dude, like, sucks for GT. Because you're thinking, supposed to be a better coach, much more talented roster, more experienced roster, not a crazy tough environment to play at Bobby Dodd. I mean, even when that place is packed out, it's not like playing at Florida State when they're good. It's not like playing at Georgia. It's not like playing at any place like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kept telling you they were going to come back in the second half. They kept it close.
And they just keep falling short, and they just can't execute. They can't make a big play that will win them a game.
They can't win games. They can't go out and win the game. They can win games if the game is easy to win, but they can't go out and finish and close games right now and win those tight ones. So, I mean, they just kind of ruined their playoff chances in that one. And now we're talking about Georgia Tech is like a dark horse playoff team. I mean, they've got a clear path to the ACC championship game now.
Their schedule's not hard.
Not hard.
As long as they don't lose games that they shouldn't.
Because they avoid both Florida State and Miami, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Duke, I think we were looking at, is their toughest ACC game. And then they'll play Georgia at the end of the year, which
doesn't have any effect on the ACC standings.
No. And, I mean, it's going to be a good game this year. I don't like that's back to being a game that I worry about during rivalry week. Like, I'm hoping we're undefeated going into that game because, like, that could be a loss. Like, they have the ability. Like, it's going to be a good game. But, yeah, I mean, the ACC is really interesting now. After that, you got a few teams, really, that, I think SMU, still could be a potential candidate to go on a run kind of like they did last year. Like, just kind of not be talked about a whole lot until late in the season when it's like, oh, well, if they win this game, like, they're in the ACC championship type of thing.
Right.
They're going to kind of fly under the radar. I've got, what else do I have? Last game, I guess we can really kind of touch on the recap because this This is Monday. It's going out on Thursday. Is the A&M and Notre Dame game.
Great game.
Great game. And a complete opposite game of what I expected it to be. I expected it to be like ground and pound, defense wear down the offense type of game on both ends. And I took Texas A&M money line, but I really thought, if Notre Dame could just handle business on the ground, like it would be a 20-17 game, a 21-17 game. Like it'd be a tight defensive battle. Not at all.
Through 2 games, now they're 0-2, but this Notre Dame offense looks really legit.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't help that they played a top 3 team in the country right now, week 1 in Miami, and then a tough SEC opponent. Were they playing at Texas A&M or was it at Notre Dame?
It was at Notre Dame.
So they were in the Bend, but I mean, still, that was a good Texas A&M team that showed up. Like all the talent that they've had over the years finally felt like it showed up on that field and was able to come away with a tight win.
Now, the thing with A&M is that they've always had this potential, but they haven't always been able to show it like they did against Notre Dame. So we'll see if they can keep it up for the entire year. That's their first big time game of the year, and they showed up. But they have about 6 more of those games that they have this year.
The SEC is just straight carnage this year. You've got to be the elite of the elite this year to like make the SEC championship game or be in the CFB playoff because it's going to be just insane.
There's 8 or 9 teams that could
beat each other on any given week, and that's pretty rare for a conference.
Last thing, there's no reason for Notre Dame to be ranked right now.
None.
I understand the strength of schedule and the body of work part of it. Well, they've played 2 top 15 teams.
But you're 0-2.
You haven't won, so you have no reason to be ranked over some of these other schools.
Like in Nebraska at 3-0.
Even still, South Florida. South Florida's unranked again in this new AP poll. They have a better body of work than Notre Dame does.
Right, and like you can't be rewarding losses. Notre Dame has been spoon-fed. They have a silver spoon in their mouth from the committee for as long as I can remember being alive. Every year they're a top 15 team in the preseason AP poll. Every year it seems like they hang around for way too long in the rankings, even though they shouldn't. Every time they're on par with like top programs or just a little behind, they get that little push like, oh, we need Notre Dame in the playoff here. Just go in. Like it's almost like the committee reserves a spot for them every year. They might as well say, this is the independent at-large bid at this point. I mean, because it feels like all Notre Dame is compete with is other independents at this point. And what? We're comparing Notre Dame to UConn in football? Like, what are we doing?
If they were in a conference, they wouldn't be ranked right now. End of story.
No, but because they have that deal with freaking NBC, and they have like their own thing going on, college football is like, we need this revenue. Like, we need to get Notre Dame in these big games and shit, and it's ridiculous because half the time they don't deserve it.
Exactly.
Like,
so yeah, that was kind of our recap of the college football week. What do you want to hop into next?
Couple games this week I'm interested in. I'm not going to touch on very many. The Texas Tech Utah game is a ranked game. It'll be an interesting game in the Big 12. Not a whole lot of knowledge coming out.
I'm just excited to see what Devin Dampier and Utah look like against that Tech team.
If they win that game, I mean, they could be a real Big 12 contender.
I think they are now, but I think if they beat that team that had a lot of hype coming into the offseason with all the money, it really solidifies them as probably the team in the Big 12.
But on the flip side, you could probably say the same about Texas Tech if they win this game.
100%. The winner of this game will be the front runner in the Big 12 and looking like that team that's going to get the auto bid.
Next, I got Auburn at Oklahoma. At Oklahoma, like the Auburn football team looks pretty solid right now. But at Oklahoma, I just think Oklahoma is going to be too much for them. They're going to overwhelm them on offense and probably win the game by a touchdown, maybe 10 points. Like I think Auburn can keep it respectable. I don't think they'll get blown out, but I don't think they can match what Oklahoma's putting on the field on the offensive side of the ball right now.
I completely agree with that. I don't have anything to add there.
21 Michigan at Nebraska. I'm riding with one of my favorite podcasters, Mr. Willie C. Will Compton, on his birthday weekend. I'm going to rock with Go Big Red and GBR. I'm taking Nebraska in Lincoln.
I don't really have a whole lot of info or knowledge about either team, but just based off what the offensive scheme looks like for Michigan, Nebraska's probably going to win. It's a home game, and they haven't let Bryce Underwood off the leash yet. So
if you want to tell me, I will be taking Nebraska, probably with a spread when I see it. But, if there's some value in it, might sprinkle a little bit on that money line, take a little riskier pick there. And then I got Illinois at Indiana, number 9 versus number 19, top 20 matchup. Could maybe determine, that probably Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State will all probably make the CFP.
Mm-hmm.
There could be an instance again this year where there's another Big Ten team, a fourth Big Ten team that makes it in. And, the last year it was Indiana. This year could be Indiana again. Could be a team like Illinois, though, who just keeps finding a way to win games and, is top 10 in the country right now. So I think this is a big game for both programs. I don't really know who I'm going with here. I don't know too much about both squads this year. I mean, I know Illinois returned Luke Altmaier, which is big for them at the QB position. Obviously, Indiana has a new QB. But I really don't have a pick for the game, just kind of an interesting thing to look for in the Big Ten this weekend.
Yeah, I think the winner of this game, I don't know their schedules the rest of the way. There's no way that both teams miss all the big teams. But the winner of this game is still going to be undefeated and has one more game that they can afford to lose down the stretch.
In the Big Ten. Yeah, which is big. I don't really have anything else in terms of college football on that. We talked, about LSU's defense, Gunnar Stockton, all those guys. So before we hop into the NFL, my good look of the week kind of, as you guys should probably assume, leads into an NFL preview. And I think, you had something sports related. So we'll hop into good looks of the week. And my good look of the week goes to that Monday morning feeling when your team won on NFL Sunday.
That's a huge feeling.
The Falcons won yesterday. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't really associate with an NFL team, so my feeling is always on Sunday mornings, but I can...
Same idea.
Oh, yeah.
That morning after feeling when your team got a win.
Especially a big win, like how your Falcons did last night on national TV.
Dude.
On the road in a tough environment, and just going and dominating. I know we're going to touch on this game a little bit here in a few minutes, but if you want to kind of...
We handled business, and like a good look could also go to the Falcons defense. It could go to Parker Romo. It could go a lot of places, but I'm going to stick with that day after feeling. We try and hit those highlight moments on good looks, and it's that morning after feeling when your team got a big win, especially when they really needed early in the season. I woke up this morning and I'm like, it's Victory Monday. Let's effing go. Let's hit the week. Shout out my mental health for the week because the Falcons won. So thank you, Falcons. Thank you, NFL, for a Sunday night win so that I could watch it after my double shift. That's also another piece that kind of goes with my good look of the week is a primetime slot for my Dirty Birds. Always nice. I was at work for 9 hours yesterday, but I was able to make it home in time for kickoff. Had Chipotle in my lap. Watched my team get a dub and just woke up this morning feeling juiced because we got the dub today. So shout out that good look of just waking up with that Monday morning or that Sunday morning victory feeling.
You can't beat it, man. I already talked about the LSU defense. That's going to be my good look this week. 5 interceptions. We have 6 on the season now. We're getting pressure on the quarterback almost every single play. I was curious last night because I knew we were filming today, and I wanted to go take a look at it. LSU, in terms of total defense right now, has a top 10 defense in the country. I didn't think I'd ever be saying that, but...
Now you just need the offense to get back to top 25, top 30.
So we'll see what the offense can do, but having a top 10 defense in the country right now, that's going to be my good look. And we have a new segment that we're going to debut this week too. I'll kind of go ahead and give a little intro about it.
This is Lance's brainchild, so I hope you like this, guys.
We're going to call this the report card. Now it won't be the same every single week. This week we have an A, a B, and an F. But throughout the past week, in the week of sports, me and Zach are going to look at some players, some teams, maybe some storylines.
It can be kind of anything you want it to be. Just you're going to have your A, your B, and your F. Some weeks we might go all the way through. Some weeks we may not. I'll let you go first because you kind of have yours, and I've got a rough rigid structure of mine in my mind, but I kind of want to see where you go and to see where I'm going to take this.
All right, so I'm going to do all three of mine here.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's just rip it.
I'm going to start with the F. We're going to
Okay.
We're going to start
You're
with
going to work your way up. I like that.
My F is DJ Lagway. Just an embarrassing performance from a guy who a lot of people predicted to be top 3 quarterback in the SEC, Heisman candidate, 5 interceptions. Yeah, five interceptions against my LSU Tigers.
3 of them were legit. 2 of them were kind of garbage time, like they already kind of feel out of the game. But the first 3 were like legit. Like, where on earth are you throwing the football?
Right, and then not looking very good against South Florida either. He didn't have the turnovers, but he's not managing that offense well. I don't care about the Long Island game. You played freaking Long Island in football.
And he's not making plays with his legs right now either, which a lot of people thought he was going to be like one of the best dual threat guys in college football.
So he's not really doing anything, so that's a big fat F. If I could give a minus, I would give an F minus.
You can go F minus. It's our segment.
F minus for DJ Lagway. Next, I'm going up to B, and it's going to be a lot of the big college football teams around the country.
Okay.
Like Ohio State against Ohio, Penn State against Villanova, Texas against UTEP. All of them won pretty handily. But you're playing Ohio. Like it was a decent game in the second half until you finally pulled away. Penn State, you're not really wowing me playing Villanova or Montana National Tech or whatever.
UTEP, like Texas did, like
And
just
then
not a lot of big wins.
So yes, you won. Yes, you played okay, but this is not the product that you want in November, in December, in the playoff. So all these big college football teams, you did okay. You got a B.
That was creative. I like that you grouped them kind of all together. I think, okay, maybe I got somewhere to go now.
And then my A is Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, and the Indianapolis Colts. They haven't started 2-0 since 2007 or 2009. I saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
So this is a long time coming for Colts fans. AR getting benched, was a blessing in disguise.
I don't know if they'll be able to continue and sustain that success all season.
But they have an opportunity in playing one of the weaker divisions in the NFL, the AFC South.
To go and snag that division.
If Daniel Jones snags that division this year, that's a really big win for Colts fans. They really haven't had much to root for since Peyton was there.
That's a big win for Dimes, too. For Danny Dimes. That's a big win for our boy Danny Dimes.
So Daniel Jones is making the most of his opportunity here. You get an A on my report card.
I like that. All right, so I'm going to start at my F, right? My F, and this is going to be through the first 2 games of the season, so bear with me here. My F is going to go to the Chicago Bears. And it's going to go to the Chicago Bears because, well, they got embarrassed this weekend. They got belt to ass. Bad.
There's not one good thing that you could say about that game.
No, and it's just, the F is going to go to the Bears because it doesn't seem like anybody can turn that culture around. They still don't seem to, have the ability to finish games. They don't seem to be able to compete against better opponents. At best, they can hang around with opponents that are at their level, like they did in week 1. They played, who did they play again? The Vikings, who we saw last night are ass. And they can't keep up with even opponents like that. They're letting them come back in the games. There's no winning culture there. There's no leadership. There seems to be no real desire to go out and be great. It's just a very stagnant, just and cool, man, the Bears are on. I don't really know what there's to be excited about if you're a Bears fan. And just to see them get embarrassed again is why they got an F for me.
And I was just going to add real quick, that week 1 game, you had it in the bag going into the fourth quarter. A game like that is when you finish off. It's a real big momentum boost. Week 1 against a divisional opponent. You're riding high coming into a game against the Lions who just looked really bad. Maybe you can compete with them in that game if you hold on to the game like you should have, but you let the Vikings come all the way back and you choke week 1, so your morale and team mojo is just at an all-time low, and then you let the Lions come in here and drop 50 on your head.
And now you're 0-2, and your season's pretty much toast before it even gets underway, because at 0-2, very slim chance in the NFC this year that you can go on some kind of run and get a wild card spot. You'd probably have to be an 11-win team this year, and you're already 0-2 in your own division. So the odds of you winning the division at this chance are slim to none. So they're going to get my F. My B this week, and I'm going to kind of piggyback off yours a little bit, is going to be the supposed elite college football quarterbacks this year.
I like that.
Drew Aller hasn't shown me anything crazy to think he's taking that next step towards being a first overall pick like everybody and their mother thinks he is because of his build. DJ Lagway was trash. I don't want to hate on him a lot, but like Garrett Nussmeier has not had some type of like Heisman campaign through 3 games.
He hasn't yet.
Who else?
Klubnik.
Arch has been very underwhelming. Klubnik has been also underwhelming.
Sellers has not been good, and he got hurt.
Sellers is hurt now. You're seeing a lot of these guys that were ranked lower in their either conferences or in the country, like maybe top 50, but not on these same tiers. You're starting to see guys like Diego Pavia step up in games, Gunnar Stockton, Joey Aguilar, who else? John Mateer. I know he was kind of one of those guys early in the season, but that's one of a handful. CJ Carr, Marcel Reed is playing really good football. Carson Beck, but those guys that were considered like the elite of the elite are they've been very underwhelming so far this season. So they're going to be my B. Most of them are still getting the job done outside of Klubnik so far, but none of them have came out and been like, yeah, this is me. Like
I'm the number 1 pick.
I'm a dog. Yeah, I'm the number 1 pick. And then my A this week, it has to be the Atlanta Falcons defense,
which is very reasonable.
It looks like Terry found the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Like something clicked and he finally became a good GM. Xavier Watts got his first NFL interception last night. Billy Bowman had one of the plays of the week, in my opinion, in the NFL. That interception was absurd, dude. That's ball hawk on 10. That is ball magnet. That is like, what do they call it?
Ball hawk?
Ball hawk, but like when you're playing 2K, it's like Hall of Fame. Dude had Hall of Fame clamps, Hall of Fame lockdown, like Hall of Fame seatbelt. Give him the seatbelt badge. Bro was balling. So both rookie DBs recorded their first NFL interceptions last night. And then both first-round rookie edge rushers recorded their first sacks last night. So all 4 rookies on the defensive side of the ball had big plays. Divine Diablo is such an underrated pickup in the middle at linebacker this year. Dude plays with some pop, bro. He can fill up gaps. He's finally a good run stopper at that linebacker position. Caden Ellis made plays. Rook made plays. Zach Harrison had a strip sack. Brandon Dorless had a sack. Jesse Bates is all over the field. AJ Terrell got hurt. Kind of sucks, but other than that, that was a 6-sack, 4-turnover performance. Even the special teams was getting in on the action, bro. They were talking about it all night. That special teams unit, maybe they're going to join my A because the whole unit just flat out balled. They played their asses off, and it showed. They're going to be my A this week.
It was really nice to see it all kind of come together for them at once. We saw it a little bit against Tampa Bay, but there were still a few kinks that needed to be worked out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we need AJ to come back because Ulbrich was getting super creative. Bro was playing an arcade game with those X's and O's last night early in the game with those exotic blitzes and feeling like we're going to bring pressure up the middle, then bringing it off the edge with a corner or something like that, or showing pressure on a corner and then dropping them back into coverage. He had to tone it back a little bit when AJ went out because you've got Jay Jettas who, we were putting AJ on an island a few times with Jets, or, you would double Jets, but you had AJ being able to one-on-one Jalen Naylor or somebody like that. Unfortunately, when he goes down, he had to play a lot more zone coverage. So I need him to be healthy, but they're going to get my A. I feel like they deserve it. It was well-deserved this week.
All right, well, I want you guys to comment on the new segment, the report card. If you guys like it, let us know if there's anything you want us to kind of tweak with it, add. Also, let us know.
Put your report card down in the comments.
Of course. We're going to dive into the NFL now. I know we've talked a little bit about your Falcons, so if you want to hop into some of the other games, and towards the end, if you got anything to add, we'll hop onto that too.
Yeah, the Chiefs and the Eagles.
Man, it's such a good sight to see when the Chiefs lose, and then when you see them at 0-2.
Well, with the schedule they got coming up too, that loss kind of puts them at risk of missing the playoffs this year.
Even now, this is a little exaggerated. I understand that, but even this weekend, they're going to play the Giants on the road on Sunday night. The Giants defense, I know they gave up 40, but that D-line
can get some pressure.
And it's so obvious that the Chiefs basically have no offense right now.
None. They cannot move the ball. I mean, it was 20-17, and they can't get it done in the big moments anymore. Like, I don't want to say anymore. That might be a little bit of an overreaction, but through 2 games this year, they're struggling to do what they normally do and find ways to close out games and win like they can't do it right now. So, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see what they do the rest of the way.
And Worthy is still hurt. They don't get Rasheed back until after week 6, and I think their bye week is week 7.
And they still, in this time frame, they're playing the Bills, they're going to play the Lions, and they might play the Ravens. I feel like all 3 of those teams are in there. I mean, there's a world where they're 1-5. 1-6 going into their bye week, 2-4,
and even getting Rashee Rice back and Worthy will come back eventually from an injury. If they dig themselves a super deep hole, the AFC West is starting to pick it up here. You know, they went to the Super Bowl, so they're still going to have a tough schedule overall. They might be digging themselves too deep of a hole to find themselves out of.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to come out of it. And then on the flip side, like the Eagles are just. They just have that squad built to win whatever the game script is. Mm-hmm. If it's a 35-38 game, like, they can go put up points. If it's a gritty, in the trenches, like, pull your bootstraps up and just run the football, they can do that too. If it's got to be a little bit of both, they can also do, like, they can win in a variety of different ways.
They just have the perfect scheme to do whatever it is that they need to do on a Sunday. But the tush push is starting to irritate me a little bit. After watching that game, it was 2 or 3 times on tush pushes. The 2 inside guards are jumping before the center snaps the ball. So it's really, in that sense, I didn't understand it until watching that game. If you're going to let the guards do that every time, it's an unfair advantage because you have these 2 guys jumping right before the center, and then the center's getting low, so anything on the inside is pretty much done for. And then you have Hurts, who's 240 pounds. He's going to get the push.
Yeah, well, you got Saquon right behind him, too. Mm-hmm. He's pushing on him. So I didn't get to watch the game. I was just kind of checking box score, so I didn't get to see the tush push, but I can see where it's getting annoying. And it just gets annoying when you see him, like, you get them down to, like, 3rd and 1. They run it, you stuff them, and then here they come with it again. And it's like it's never defeated. And I get the whole thing, like, well, you just hate it because it's undefeated. I don't, I guess, in a sense, but I also kind of do. Like, it is kind of irritating.
Well, if you're going to run it correctly, I'm okay with it. But over and over again against the Chiefs, the guards are moving early. It's a false start every time. If you're going to let them get away with these false starts and keep running the tush push, then, yeah, you need to ban it. It needs to be out of the league. But if you're going to run it correctly and all the guys are moving at the same time and you still can't beat it, then that's just the Eagles' play. But if they keep doing what they did against the Chiefs, it needs to go.
That's fair. I completely agree. The only other game I really wanted to touch on, I mean, Cowboys-Giants. Cowboys got a bit. That was a huge win. And, I mean,
they actually don't look that bad through 2 weeks.
The offense can score.
They had a lot of opportunities to take that game from Philly in week 1. Philly ended up winning it. That's just how it is. But they're going to have an opportunity to win a lot of games with that offense this year. And George Pickens was such a under the radar pick. Like, we knew he was going to be decent, but he was making so many plays in the game.
And they still haven't really got him going as much as I feel like they could in that offense.
Well, and they also haven't really gotten CD going. CD has not scored a touchdown yet.
No, but, I mean, he did make some big plays down the stretch this past week. They were force-feeding him the football at one point. At one point, Dak's just like, shut up, CD, and just chucking it up there like, hey, CD, go make a play for us.
And they're actually starting to kind of get the run game working a little bit. Javonte Williams doesn't look as bad as everyone thought he was going to. Everybody kind of just wrote off the entire running back room. And
I think once that defense really starts to gel, like, they'll be a solid unit. They're not going to be like I think the Packers defense is way better with Micah now. But the Cowboys could have a really solid unit that they're putting out on the field. The last game, and I just want to touch on this because I think it's hilarious. The last game is the Lions versus the Bears that I wanted to touch on. And I just think it's hilarious because Dan Campbell basically little bro'd Ben Johnson. He walked in there, slapped his nuts on the table, said, "Hey, son, congratulations on your first job. Don't forget who daddy is. I own this division."
This is just a little quick reminder of why you should have stayed in Detroit.
Yeah, like they could have stopped scoring when the game was 35-14. You know, like they didn't have to drop it on them like they did, but they dropped the hammer. They were like, they gave him 2 big middle fingers.
Welcome to the NFC North, Mr. Johnson.
Welcome to the NFC North. He got slapped with a big Johnson.
That team is just so bad. That's what I hate about the constant carousel of head coaches in the NFL and college. I do understand that every coach's dream is to become a head coach, but sometimes the grass isn't greener.
No, because they're going to suck this year.
Ben Johnson's going to get fired in 3 years because that team's not going to be good.
Because they took Caleb Williams, and it doesn't look like he's going to pan out.
And just all over the league, college and the NFL. Sure, I'm happy for all y'all. Congratulations on now becoming a head coach. You're not going to be a head coach for very long. Sometimes some guys are just made to be assistants. And then all these guys.
Look at a guy like Chip Kelly. Got his opportunity.
Offensive genius.
Cannot be a head coach.
Perfect offensive coordinator.
Perfect. And he keeps getting that. You go to Ohio State, turn them into a national champion. Now you get to go to the Raiders. You've got some fun pieces to work with. You've got Geno Smith. You've got a good head coach.
And a lot of the time, the pressure on coordinators is miles less than the pressure on a head coach.
Facts. And it's a lot. There's a lot more coordinator spots to fill. Well, I guess that math doesn't really math because there's only one OC on each team or one DC on each team. But I feel like it's a lot easier to find a job as a coordinator than it is to find a job as a head coach. And I feel like, you can always kind of find it like Chip Kelly's doing right now, like finding different challenges as an OC. Like, yeah, they might kind of feel like lateral moves, but you're getting to like constantly like revamp and rethink and new pieces. And I just feel like it's more fun too.
And he's been all over the place. He's at Ohio State. He's been with the Eagles. He's been with UCLA. He's been with all these different programs and schemes and everything.
And got to just do a bunch of fun things as a coordinator.
And he still finds all these ways to be successful.
Yeah, and just keep winning in new places. Like, I feel like that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to touch on in that game, though, is that they just came in there and, like, whipped them in the face.
As Fox Sports would have said a million times, they dropped a 50 burger.
I didn't hear it.
Dude, it was starting to get to the point where it was getting ridiculous. I think every single guy on that crew, 6 guys? I think every single one of them said 50 burger at one point in the show.
Yeah, I would have got kind of irritated. We had a few things that I had written down over here to kind of preview. We can talk about the Lions versus the Ravens a little bit, but I'm going to be honest to all the people that have watched with us up until this point in the episode. I worked for like 9 hours yesterday and then was taking a test at like 2 a.m. Then had work this morning pretty early, and now I'm here at the boys' house, and it is 7:15 p.m. and we're recording this right now. The brain's starting to leave me a little bit, guys. I don't know if you've heard the few times where I've like stuttered through my words or like it's not really coming out, but like
I think you've taken a couple yawn breaks.
Yeah, dude, and it's starting to get real dark upstairs. It's starting to get dim, you know?
Well, I think for us, the two of us, it's a lot easier to recap than it is for us to preview. And
yeah, especially this early in the week too. Like sometimes injury reports aren't out. Like we're waiting to see who's playing, who's not playing, where the line's going to be on these games. Are there any new developments? Like there's just a lot that we're missing.
And we could spend 30, 45 minutes previewing all these games, and all of our takes are horrible.
Yeah, and I don't really know how much y'all watch us just for like very analytical, like breakdown takes. I feel like it's just kind of like the back and forth between the two of us.
I think this works a lot better for us to get our reactions to the games and then bring our reactions to the camera and the microphone for all these fans.
That's a good way to put it. But yeah, I mean, it's getting like pretty dark upstairs. Like picture, in like a lot of bathrooms, you'll have like those 4 light things. Like you flick it on, it's 4 light bulbs. Mm-hmm. 2 of them already busted.
And the third one's
third one's flickering. Like here in a minute, we're going to be on the 4th light. And it's gonna be real hard to see. I might stub my toe, or trip over something here in a minute. So, what I'm trying to say, let's start wrapping this up. I guess Lions-Ravens is a big game on Monday night.
The Lions always struggle in general against the Ravens, and they really struggle in Baltimore. So this is going to be a big matchup, in my opinion, more for the Lions. They're already 1-1. If you fall 1-2, there's going to be some headlines like, are the Lions going to be a disappointing team this year? Or if they win, all right, week 1 was kind of a fluke. Lions are back to kind of dominating in the league.
Well, then does it go to the Ravens are going to be disappointing this year? Because they would be 1-2.
That's true.
You didn't think about that.
I completely forgot about week 1. So 2 1-1 teams with a lot to prove.
And a lot on the line like this early in the season in these big matchups because both of them have tough schedules.
Yeah, it's not going to get a whole lot easier. So the winner of this game, they're going to be riding high. We got a big marquee win early in the season, and the loser is...
Well, and the Ravens need that big marquee win after losing that tough one to the Bills.
Right.
They need to get back.
And then...
I think that's it.
I think that's about it for us today. There's not really a whole lot more to cover. We will be recapping a lot next week.
As we do every week. And we'll keep going. We're trying to get a better schedule down for filming so that we have more energy to bring to you guys. I was doing my best. I've killed a ghost at the ripe hour of 6 o'clock on a Monday night. I'm doing my best for you guys over here. Hopefully the cadence gets a little better on the days we're filming and some of the energy. And for some reason today, I'm just I'm just slumped.
It's just one of those days, but I think, we talked about a lot of good things. We highlighted some negative things that needed to be highlighted.
We got some good 45 minutes into.
Oh, for sure.
Where you were trying to get to today?
For sure. Very action-packed episode. I thought we talked about a lot of good things. The world of sports was very kind to us this week.
A lot of good matchups.
It might have been the best week of sports that we've had. Week 1 really just had that aura on it, like we're finally back, week 1. But last week, with all the storylines, we didn't even touch on all of them, but a lot of good games, a lot of good action.
A lot of good matchups coming up.
It's only going to get better as the season goes on. So if you guys enjoyed the episode this week, drop a like, drop some comments, make sure to smash that subscribe button, and stay tuned for another episode of Chirp Kings next week.
Remember to share it with your grandfather, your grandmother, your homie, your cousin, your teacher. Share it with your supervisor. Share it with the boss. Scream at somebody as you're driving down the window. Hey, check out that Chirp Kings episode 6.
All you guys are going to go grocery shopping this week. Mention Chirp Kings to the lady at the desk, ringing up your groceries. She might be interested too.
Hey, do you listen to podcasts? Cool. Let me tell you about this one. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Peace.